Hello, and welcome to my Fire Emblem 9 Path of Radiance 100% gross low turn count playthrough. I'm your host Typhoon Carter, and today I have a guest with me who will be doing full commentary with me on this wonderful map. It's SubwayBossEmmett.
Might have seen me posting in a few servers. I always liked runs like these and thought I'd finally commentate on one.
Yeah, first things first, we got chapter 5 here, first defend map of the game.
Of many.
Yeah, it's real fun objective, based objective I gotta say, but it's also the very first Fog of War map in the game. One thing to note is that on hard mode, Fog of War is pretty much the only, or rather one of the few unique features that hard mode has that some of the lower difficulties might not have. Especially on this map, because on lower difficulties, this is, you can see everything, but we're here muddled by Fog of War. What a fun mechanic. Yeah, what a fun mechanic. Basically, we gotta defend here for 6 turns, and that right side, for story reasons, Ike's dad is committing Punich Incarnate on that side all by himself. Which is rather fitting, considering he's supposed to be, I don't know, pretty good at this whole fighting thing.
I mean, have you seen Irvin's stats?
Yeah, Irvan is no joke in Radiant Dawn, but unfortunately, that's not really available in this game.
It is programmed, if you didn't know. It's a lot of unused weapons.
Yeah, there's also some unused supports, too, for some reason. But on this first enemy phase here, Boyd and Shannon are basically just holding down this right side, because unfortunately, we can't really adjust Ike's position, which is kind of a dumb feature in most FE games. And Boyd here gets another level up, where he effectively gains a +2 attack speed once again, because strength is constitution. Interesting design choice, to say the least.
I'm not too surprised it didn't return after Radiant. Oh, wait, no, it's in Shadow Dragon, actually.
Yeah, it's in Shadow Dragon.
Where it only affects Merit.
It also affects Navarre in, like, on, like, Chapter 3 on Hard 5. Because, like, I think he can actually get doubled by the Chapter 3 boss if he holds the Killing Edge.
God, Navarre, it's so really sad how it's so literally depressing.
Better. Yeah, and then...
Every way.
Yeah. You might notice that I'm not really using my 1 to 2 range weapons on this enemy phase, even though it might seem like a smart idea. The main reason is because we actually don't get that many 1 to 2 range weapons. Although, we might use the Javelin a little bit, but that's because we'll get a Short Spear as a droppable in the next chapter. But one of the more interesting things we'll have to keep an eye out on is Hand Axe durability, because what the hell is base function until Chapter 8?
Yeah, no, that's the thing for Path of Radiance, I don't know why they make it drag out so long, the XP, but at least it kind of gives opportunity cost of dumping all the Marcia less, opportunity cost.
Yeah. Although the thing is the good news is that we get to rack up our bonus experience from doing all these maps, like, over time. So I guess it's the game's way of telling us to just stockpile up on those. Even though for some reason the side objectives, or like the bonus XP objectives, are like normally hidden. I think, if I remember correctly, I know they can show this off in, Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance.
It might be a new game pass, like a continued save or something. I remember Radiant Dawn, a lot of odd number of features locked behind.
Oh yeah, like skipping animations,
yeah.
which I would have really loved for this game to have, but unfortunately, Intelligent Systems insisted that we need to see all these new 3D animations. Oh my god!
Why don't they go back to sprites? It's just Three Houses is so sad to me.
Yeah, they spent like 90% of their budget on zoom-in mode. Yeah, it's just
it
like...
looks kind of okay in Shambhala.
I don't know, like... And then like half of the battalion models look like PS2 graphics.
Hey, when they fade in and out, it's just hurtful. It just really immerses me.
Yeah, like have you seen Grand Theft Auto's Definitive Edition?
Oh, God, that doesn't make any sense how they could just be that bad.
Yeah, they just butchered that horribly. And, one
Oh,
interesting.
you want to talk about Shinon's
Yeah, Shinon.
positioning here? That's actually interesting.
Yeah, Shinon here, as I mentioned in my previous video, his powers are directly tied into how not racist he is. And Shinon here, we positioned him that way because the bushes, or also technically healing bushes, but they're still bushes, they actually cost movement. So like Riss looks like he's in a bit of danger, but thanks to those two bushes terrain penalty, or rather movement costs, Riss is perfectly fine here.
So, who saves more turns? Roll for bushes.
Oh, that's a tough one. Can't say for sure, because the bush definitely has its moments where it also infuriates me at times. Because like for some reason in Path of Radiance, the enemy has some degree of coward AI, if that makes sense.
So like a Gaiden.
Yeah, kind of like SOV or Gaiden. But I believe the threshold here, instead of 50%, it's like 40%. So you got a little bit more leeway.
Oh, I thought it was just kind of random. I've noticed that like once or twice.
Oh yeah, no, it's not random. There's a couple times where that AI ends up infuriating me more than anything.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we got Dakola here.
Yeah, this is peak performance boss.
Yeah, this guy gets free hit KO by Titania. Even though technically it's Titania with some growths, but still. Really depressing.
Titania is such a... It's funny, she is, you know, Seth tier, but it's always funny how like everyone catches up to her just due to the way Path of Radiance is designed. A BXP in level 20 promotion.
Yeah. Like her final stats are not really as good, but like usually it's just more than good enough where she can just hold her ground. And then here we witnessed Sadness, where Oscar barely missed that 1-round KO benchmark on a fucking archer.
It's Path of Radiance base is tied to speed. Like attack equals con is just always so frustrating until
but it's kind of weird that they changed it up here. But it works in our favor because Gatry technically gets weighed down by his Steel Lance.
Oh, so you get the favorite units EXP.
Yeah. We get to witness Soren gaming.
For the record, I think Soren is a good unit. I just despise him beyond belief. And it's not even because I'm an Ike shipper. It just lets me down too much.
Wow.
Like rigging or something.
Brutal. And then, yeah, but Soren's gotta get some action here, and you can witness his early game struggles, as I'd like to call it.
Or Soren moments, for sure.
And then on this left side, oh, we also get the only hammer in the game, and I totally screwed this up, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Because Ike, for some reason, has 4 iron swords. Or had.
4 iron swords? Wait, you skipped the tutorial?
Oh, no, I didn't skip the tutorial. No, I had to play through that, but... that's a localization only thing.
Yeah, I thought it was tied to skipping something. I don't remember very well.
No. Yeah, in Japanese that would never be a thing, although that would present its own problems. One thing to note is that in Maniac mode there is a bajillion more enemies. That
their ability is an actual issue.
Yeah, so like it's kind of like you wish that Ike had those 4 iron swords in Japanese, and then like in the North America version you would wish that he didn't have that per se. It's kind of funny how that works out.
I think I heard in if you're not going as fast as you can in like Maniac mode, Clash is actually easily soft lockable.
Yeah, because like
from the enemy count.
And also because of the forging problem, because forging costs, like, I think it costs double of what it normally costs in localization.
That might also. I think it might be Maniac. I think one person said it's just Maniac. making it
Maniac.
more
Yeah,
expensive.
Maniac Forge costs.
Soren good. Not doubling
Yeah.
anything.
So we have to feed this kill to Titania, but thankfully it's not Soren's only chance to grow, at least
Thank you,
within this
defend
time
maps.
frame. Yeah, this is the one good thing defend maps give us, besides games being unnecessarily long.
I mean, think about it this way: everyone hates FE8 and like SOV XP distribution. It doesn't have defend maps. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah, you know, it's always weird how like people or at least people that play fast like me, I like to occasionally shit on defend maps, but you have maps like these. Although I think my gripe with it has more to do with the fact that like a lot of them are just not well designed. Kind of like this one, in a way.
You're gonna say Hector Hard Mode Chapter 15 isn't well designed? Just sit on a throne the whole time?
Yeah. Low manning, man. Peak strategy of Fire Emblem. It's a classic, long-standing tradition.
You played Berwick, right?
Yeah, I've played
Are its-
Berwick. Yeah,
are its
I
defend maps
hate the
good?
defend maps on those
Okay,
with a
that-
passion. Like that.
So much of that game doesn't make sense. I played one map just to see like if it would work, and it's solid, but I just
Yeah, Boyd here with 71 hit despite bad biorhythm. Let's go. I hate Tempest.
Boyd is great.
Yeah,
Also, just saying you can't get rid of Tempest until Chapter 8.
yeah. Funny thing was that Boyd at least grew fast enough where like that was no longer an issue. Because
Yeah,
thanks skill growth.
I'm a big fan of Boyd in well, both games, but you know,
Yeah, rare
Speedwing
adept proc.
Bias and Radiant Dawn.
Let's go. Rare adept proc
Oh.
here. Let's go.
Soren Gaming.
Yeah.
Also,
First level up.
2 speed.
Yeah,
'cause-
luckily tomes don't weigh that much, so like in a normal playthrough, you don't have to rig strength that much.
You're lucky they just didn't say screw it and gave him 0% strength growth.
Oh, I don't know. Well, with Une Randomizer, I might have had to... I don't know how I was gonna work around, like, giving him specifically 0. Because I don't think there's any character in this game who has specifically a 0% in any stat.
Actually, is there any like?
Some Laguz
Yeah,
units
besides-
have... Okay, some Laguz units do have over 100% growth, like their HP, but I was just like, screw it. Because that
I
was
don't
kind of
think-
lazy.
I don't think you have to win units in a 100% growth LTC, thankfully. Well, at least in terms of growing. I know Leith and Mordecai's shelving is very interesting to me.
Yeah, we'll talk about them a bit more when we get them. But,
Yeah,
because, like, Laguz units don't really show up until, at least as playable until Chapter 9. Oscar here gets a nice level up here, as he's gonna need to hit those benchmarks. Specifically for Chapter 7, it'll help him out there. As that's a route map, and there's gonna be like one section where we need him to do some work.
does
And then-
Titania need to hit any benchmarks for the next upcoming chapter? Or is that after
Next
boss battle?
chapter. Okay, next chapter is an arrive map, but there isn't any specific benchmark that I need to hit there. It's Chapter 7 where I need to get my benchmarks ready, per se. And then, like, after everything else after, like, Chapter 7 and 8 is pretty much just bonus experience shenanigans once we get a hold of that mechanic. And this is, like, one of 2 maps where a torch or, like, torch staffs matter in any capacity, but unfortunately, no
in,
torch staff. Sadly.
Yeah, this is like the average Ike experience. Well, no, maybe he doesn't even double an average Ike. But no, they made the Regal sword so bad.
Yeah, thanks, ×2 effectiveness.
Hammer has okay ×2 effectiveness. Lagoon players do. But like nothing, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, some of the magical weapons you have, they actually have decent base might, so their effective might isn't too bad. I think the heavy spear isn't too bad in that regard. But, yeah, Boyd Gaming, once again.
What a god.
Yeah, this left side is pretty much all cleared up. And there are some reinforcements that do show up as this map goes on. And then here, it's kind of strange how Provoke works because, like, as we saw earlier, Provoke didn't kind of work the way we expected. As Provoke and Shade, as I mentioned before, act a little bit inconsistently. As, like, I'm still not 100% sure if the AI necessarily always likes to value damage over, like, self-preservation, per se, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does. I think it's just how little documentation Tellius games have, despite starting to come a good amount.
Yeah, it's just more so, like, I think Provoke and Shade might probably just, like, change up the priority, or, like, there's probably a hidden numerical value or something that determines, like, what the AI does. I'm guessing that's what it most likely does, at least from experimentation anyways.
Have you watched a FE6 run where he tries to explain Delphi Shield and how there's a few competing theories? They figured it out because turns out archers just also have a priority to attack flyers, even outside of, like, dealing a shitload of damage.
Oh,
it's just like an additional amount.
Oh, okay, so like the effectiveness has some like weird interaction per se, right?
Yeah, so its effectiveness is like prioritized just like on a class level, and just because it does such massive damage.
Although to be fair, FE6 is also a poorly programmed game, as we've seen a few times with how things act.
I'm surprised they even released a game. Like, we looked into Maiden of Darkness, or looking at it in Builder.
Yeah, no, it's like total spaghetti code sometimes.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Thracia is in that regard. And
did you know Thracia has randomized weapon ranks?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I'm like, man, that must be because, like, they also got random everything. They got random movement.
Yeah. People never decide to document Thracia enemy stats because it just doesn't matter. The variation is too big.
Actually, no. I think Lapongye actually had some documentation, but that documentation was hard to read through because of, like, how jank it was.
Maybe you just need to have the same IQ to do 0% growth.
Yeah, I think that Soldier actually had a Steel Lance, which is why he dealt so much damage to Oscar. Oscar is, like, safe. Oscar is, like, pretty bulky that, like, he's more or less safe. And then here we got one last level up, and that is the defend map done with. I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for inviting me.
I'll see you for chapter 6.